Hey, it's Soul, and we're going to take a look at the Secrets of the Reach cinematic, which follows up after Razageth's defeat in the Vault of the Incarnates raid. A link to the full, unedited cinematic is in the description below. This is what I call a gutter analysis, with semi-fresh reactions, quips, and just a little bit of research to help you understand what's going on, so let's get right to it. The Dracthyr have returned to the Forbidden Reach. It's where they were sort of imprisoned for a really long time, and the island was unapproachable thanks to Razageth, one of the Primal Incarnates. Basically, she called shotgun on the whole island and killed everything that tried to re-enter it with magic lightning. But she's dead now, and now folks are coming back to lay claim. This right here is Saralek, leader of the Sundered Flames. They're a pack of Dracthyr who served Neltharion, and now that he's not around, they're mostly invested in serving themselves, so they're basically bad guys. Naturally, they're back here to reclaim what they think is theirs until, real dragons show up, namely the remaining Primal Incarnates. A couple of dudes ain't gonna take down 3 raid bosses, so they switch to a wait and don't piss your pants too loud sort of stance. One of the Dracthyr is like, oh, who are they? And Saralek's like, oh, that's Razageth's kin, so I guess now word is coming out that the 3 Primal Incarnates escaped. The 3 are in search of something that Razageth didn't know or care about, otherwise she would have gotten it herself while she had full control over the island.
The last echoes of her storm are fading.
So apparently Primal Incarnates can have visage forms, which is pretty darn neat. I would have loved to have seen Razageth's visage form, but whatever the case, this tells a little bit about what proto-drakes and what these incarnates are. They can take on a form that's definitely humanoid, but without the fleshy bits. They're closer to the elements they represent, but it's also kind of funny. Varanoth over here looks like the Winter Queen's teenage daughter, who's up to no good after being imprisoned for, ever. Farok looks like Budget Diablo, who's really got it good up top, but forgot to switch off of basic feet and go for hooves. I mean, okay, they both look good, don't get me wrong, but they don't hold a candle to Iridikon, the Groot or Voldemort-faced man of fashion. Sporting one gauntlet, a half cape, and totally good with the skirts, he looks great. Please don't hurt me. And then they get into some exposition. The Incarnates are planning something. Farok doesn't care about plans, he wants to take revenge on their fallen sister, but Iridikon's calculating and patient. He wants to have an edge against the Aspects, which sort of highlights the power scale of this expansion so far. The Aspects are still depowered. The Incarnates are powerful in their own right, but they're now a person short, so they break into a sealed part of the Forbidden Reach while demonstrating to us, the viewers, what happens when raid bosses go up against common defensive traps. They're definitely no slouches. While they're walking in here, Varanoth says that the Aspects hid so many secrets from them, the Incarnates, and also each other. It was kind of a significant line that I hung on to while watching the rest of the cinematic. So after making short work of the trash, Iridikon says the following.
Neltharion's betrayal shattered their unity, left fissures in their hearts.
And then proceeds to immediately find whatever it is that they're looking for and understand what it meant.
Yet the pain he inflicted was only the beginning.
They found a vessel with information that'll lead them to Aberrus, Neltharion's lab full of all sorts of experiments, but Farok wonders what's the point in finding it.
The laboratory itself is of no consequence, but the molten fire that powers it, that we can use.
So great, there's a MacGuffin that's going to lead us to the next patch and the new zone, and spoiler alerts, yes, they find the lab's location. Meanwhile, Saralek, who's been watching, instructs one of his crew to follow them because he wants to get his hands on whatever's in that lab too. And then the Incarnates fly back to their moon base. Just kidding. So I have some questions. I talked about this earlier, but why didn't Razageth break into this lab herself? Because she had full control over the Forbidden Reach, but instead spent her energy on a few scuffles around the Dragon Isles before breaking into the Vault of the Incarnates to free her kin. Maybe it just wasn't her first idea, and she prioritized freeing the others first. I mean, she's powerful in her own right, and her death did make the other Incarnates hesitate to confront the Aspects head on. Maybe she just didn't think that she would need this lab. My guess though, she just didn't know about it or the secrets within. The bigger questions in my head come from how much knowledge the Incarnates seem to possess. Unless they have internet access in their cells, they seem to know quite a bit about what's been going on with the aspects. They knew to go to the Forbidden Reach for information. Iridicon knew exactly where to look. Viranoth knew what they had found meant. On the other hand, Farok didn't get the meaning of breaking into Aberrus, so maybe he's just not too bright. I'm also wondering just what is this molten fire that powers Aberrus? I'm gonna make some wild guesses here, as I always do, but I think Iridicon knows more than he's letting on, even to his comrades. He's the Earth Incarnate, so like Neltharion, he might be vulnerable to the whispers of the old gods. If there was even half information to learn while in these Titan cells, it would come from one of the old gods. It could be that molten fire isn't the kind of fire we're thinking of. From early screenshots, we see void enemies around Aberrus, which is really suspicious. No doubt that there's going to be more of this found inside Aberrus itself. Is it possible that Iridicon has his own plans and is just telling his kin that there's a power source in Aberrus but not telling them its void origins? It's super plausible that in Neltharion's super secret lab, he's got a super secret power source that no one ever knew about, and it's got something to do with the hidden fifth old god mentioned a few times. It sort of fits that Iridicon could already be corrupted and is being told where to go and what to do to ultimately free whatever it is that Neltharion had captured. There could be a double twist too. It could be that Iridicon is being quietly influenced and doesn't know it. He thinks he's so good with his instincts and gauntlet and shoulder cape and one-shotting trash, but he doesn't know he's being influenced by the old gods this whole time. Or it could be Viranoth who's actually the corrupted one and she's just influencing Iridicon what to do. So it could be that he doesn't know he's being influenced by the old gods this entire time, and once he reaches Aberrus, which is one part lab, maybe one part prison, he'll inadvertently release an old god out into the wild. And then they all run off to their moonbase. All in all, this was a fun cinematic that one developer is calling it and 10.0.7 a prologue, a lead-in to patch 10.1. It's not a new practice in gaming, but it's new to World of Warcraft, and if this works out, I think it's pretty awesome. I hope it does work out, and I'm looking to learn more. So thanks for listening. I'd love to hear what you thought of the cinematic, what I got totally wrong, and what your theories are. So please hit that like button to support the channel, subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.